All right, guys, joining me at this time is another competitor for the Combat Sports Coverage submission-only grappling competition. This one is a $200 match bet. The guys put their own money up, and the best man walks away with the cash. Juan Gandara is going to be taking on a very fierce competitor here in May 1st. He's super excited to be stepping onto the mats in Tomball, Texas, man. How are you getting ready for this amazing matchup?
Just kind of staying busy. I always try to keep busy. So pretty much the difference is that when it's time to compete, I go from my standard like evening class that I do mostly daily to jumping in at noon, and anytime I get a little chance to get a little strength and conditioning, as well as just upping the mat time really.
So you've already started upping everything up at this point?
Yeah, as soon as I got like you might have an opponent, I was like, all right, I'll start hitting up noon class too.
Now, you're teammates of Comoy Anderson, who obviously did very well at their last tournament. Do you plan on continuing that success and, really showing that El Paso 10th Planet is just killing things?
Yeah, man, of course. This game.
Having some technical difficulties.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, you're there.
Am I back?
I lost you. Still haven't seen you.
Am I back?
Nope, not quite yet.
There we go.
There we go.
Hey, sorry about that.
Continuing that dominance that 10th Planet
yeah.
El Paso is doing. How do you plan on continuing that success?
Yeah, man. So what I was getting at is, a few years back, I saw, I want to say like 8 years is when I started doing jiu-jitsu, 9 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I started out of here, and the scene was very small. So the level of it reflected how little people were doing jiu-jitsu. But in the last few years, we've exploded with schools, with competitors, and so we're starting to reflect kind of like those bigger cities that have some renowned competitors. So I'm just planning to be a part of that, part of that wave that kind of that guys like Kamoy have started off, and yeah, just keep it going.
Now, you have obviously prepared for MMA fights before. Is it a little different preparing for a grappling competition though?
You know what? I think the difference is that with MMA, you just gotta control your the variables a little bit more. I find that I was more prone to injury going into like sparring and whatnot, whereas that's still always a possibility here in jiu-jitsu, but with your selected training partners, it's a little bit easier to train fast, like hard all the time.
No, for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, it just I would say intensity. Don't get me wrong, my MMA was intense, but it was a lot of like prepping for rounds, insofar as like with your strength and conditioning, you're doing a lot of like as many reps as possible for this amount of time, and then like quick breaks. Whereas for this, it's more, you roll hard and then you drill a lot.
Now, where did you start off your jiu-jitsu journey at?
So I guess grappling. I started wrestling in high school, and then that kind of environment, it kind of goes hand in hand with jiu-jitsu, with grappling, and so started picking up things here and there, and then I linked up with a gym that did jiu-jitsu, and so that was back in 2011, 2012, and then I moved over to Austin, Texas for college, and that's when I kind of dove in. I started with Paragon out there for a couple of years. I did kind of strict gi jiu-jitsu, a little bit of no gi, but I really kind of fell in love with that, and then I started fighting. So then the gi kind of came off, and I would do it from time to time, but it was mostly no gi from then on forward, and mixing it up.
So at this point, it's mostly just no gi. You don't really train in the gi.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know whoever's watching this or anything, if they know anything about me. I lost like half my arm like 2 years ago, so I decided.
I was waiting to get into that, but we're definitely getting into that. So let's just jump right into that right now. What happened? How did it all go down?
Yeah, so it actually unfortunately was like right in the middle of my third training camp. I took a little was going into my third pro fight training camp. I took a little bit of time off. I was fresh off a win and decided to go on vacation with my family. And
Oh, I lost you, Juan. Bear with us, guys. This commercial break was brought to you by Native. All right.
sorry.
So you went on vacation.
All right, yeah. And so we were having a good time. It was hanging out, family, a few drinks here and there, but it was nothing like crazy. I wasn't much of a partier by this time in life. And then we borrowed one of those racers, the Polaris ones.
Mm-hmm.
And we went out and me and my little brother, got a little competitive with how crazy we could get on it. And I guess I won because I went a little too wild. and yeah, the thing flipped over.
I think it's safe to say you won that one.
Yeah, it basically Kimura'd me. It Kimura'd my. Oh no! It Americana'd my arm off.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it was pretty.
Did you look at your brother and tell him it's his turn now? Like, come on, bro. Right? Gotta one up it.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it was pretty gnarly, man. It was I thought it just broke when it happened because I heard the snap and I never broken a bone before. So I was like, all right, well, this sucks. But the thing was laying like the whole vehicle was on top of my arm. So I assumed it was a clean break, and I was like, damn, I don't think I'm gonna be able to fight in that time period. And then once they took the weight off of my arm, I realized how extensive the injuries were, and yeah, it was pretty bad. The thing was like hanging on by a thread. So that was
it must have been crazy, like whirlwind of emotions just flowing through. Because obviously you had a flourishing professional career at that point in MMA.
Yeah, it was budding,
What was it for you that just kind of got you back into the mats and just wanted to keep competing?
I mean, I guess it was. Firstly, I just never assumed that I was going to. It was so ingrained in like my identity to be like a fighter or grappler. Yeah, so then it never came to mind that I couldn't do it anymore. Like I just assumed that I would. And so and then once like conversations were brought up about it, I kind of put it in my mind. I was like, I'm gonna get right back into competition. Let's see what I can do. And yeah, this happened in August. And that same year in December, I did Naga in Salt Lake City, and I think I did fairly well. I think I placed like second or something.
What weight class?
145 or what? No, I mean Naga is 140 to 150 or 150 to 160. I was probably like
no gi or gi.
No gi, yeah.
Okay. Do you train in the gi still?
No, not really. That was one of the things that I like. I was like, I'm kind of one grip down already, but I'm still giving up that grip that I don't have. So I just decided to keep it no gi and specialize a little bit.
Have you thought about getting back in the cage? Like you see Nick Newell, he's able to do his thing with one arm. I mean, is it possible? Yeah. Have you thought about it? I'm sure you've thought about it.
Yeah, I've definitely thought about it, and I do train. I do train Muay Thai a couple of times a week, and I don't know. I mean, I got I still think that I could whoop some ass. I think I would definitely fight again. It's just my goals are different, Like I feel comfortable in there. I feel experienced, and there's no nerves once you have done it enough, So all of that is gone. So I would feel very at home being in the cage or on the mats or any kind of competitive environment that's like combat. But the goals are different. Whereas like before, I was trying to be like the best fighter in the world. I've kind of let go of that goal per se, but I would definitely still go in there to put on a show and get some highlights in the reel.
Could you knock out Jake Paul?
If I avoided that ride and landed one myself, I would
That's
say
what I'm.
possibly so.
Hear me out. He picked the worst MMA fighter in the world to go up against when it comes to striking.
Oh
I,
yeah, that was yeah, dude.
listen, Ben got paid. I'm not mad at
Yeah,
Ben. Ben got that
yeah,
money. It's like $1 million.
yeah, yeah. You're not you know how many cars we got to turn around over here in $1 million. So yeah, man, I'm not hating on it. And if we're kicking, I'll knock them out for sure.
Hell yeah. Day to day, what's your life like?
So I was mentioning earlier, I run a body shop. We opened it up a couple of years back, so I'm still pretty new. Expanding every day, kind of looking to uh, budget correctly to expand aggressively, and it's going well, man. We've been putting out some 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 nice looking projects.
Anything
So
in
yeah,
particular that you're like really excited to work on?
so I got a classic Chevy Monte Carlo that I got to bring back to life. It's like a '76, so it's past like the muscle era, hard muscle era, but it still had a nice body style. And then I just finished one of my buddies. It's like a 70 some Chevy short bed, and it looked pretty nice cherry red. So I just I'm excited for whenever a whip comes in that means a lot to the client. We're always excited to give them something they like, something they want.
Since your accident, has your day to day life changed?
Uh, do everything half as fast, I guess. I wake up
Twice
earlier.
as good, right?
This is good. Got to think about it more. Just you know what? Not much changes. Uh, you know, besides I guess less meaningful things like I probably prefer laceless shoes these days. Take that aspect out of my day, and so yeah, you make micro adjustments like that. Probably the biggest kind of annoying thing is that I decided to grow this hair out, and like putting it up in a fucking ponytail is a little
I get it.
difficult.
I
Yeah,
could. It'd be hard to do with one hand.
yeah, man. So that's probably the most annoying thing about being one-handed right now. I mean, I'm sure I could think of some other ones, but yeah, it's pretty. I get by. I got good balance.
In your jiu-jitsu game, how has that changed?
So coming from an MMA background, I really focused on being top heavy,
Mhm.
kind of like trying to emulate Habib style, just kind of top heavy and ground and pound, wear down, ground and pound. But when you build that kind of style, my finishing rate wasn't amazing. My controlling was good. But so then now that I don't have that arm, I had to completely do, like a 180 on it. And I thought, you know, how can I most even the playing field? And I decided to focus on leg locks, and it's been going pretty well. So I would say I'm well rounded, but I've definitely been the last 2 years tackling this you know heel hooks and straight ankles.
Could we see a leg lock here May 1st in Tomball?
I mean, that's what I'm going for. But I heard this young fella is a fan of the legs as well. So we'll see. We'll have a little shootout.
Little leg entanglement.
Yeah.
So for you, man, it's obviously been like a whirlwind. How have you just like been able to deal with everything emotionally? Like, how have you kept balance? You seem very like centered. You keep very down to earth. You've had a traumatic injury in your life. I mean, that could really change a lot of people. But it seems like you're a very easygoing guy still.
Yeah, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I get a little cranky. I got a lot of chronic pain with it.
Hmm.
So that's the part that messes with like who I am the most. Insofar as I've always been pretty easygoing, but when you're kind of in pain, especially those around you that are with you all the time, get a little
Yeah.
bit more of the crankiness. But for the most part, just I think that this sport, jujitsu and fighting overall kind of shaped a lot of the mentality that I had to have to just kind of be a winner at life.
Hmm.
And so this was just a tough opponent that was thrown at me, like the situation, and that's kind of how I'm
Yeah.
dealing with it. Yeah.
And you've kind of just, you obviously, evolved your game into working with it. It's awesome to see it, and it's actually really, really inspiring to see, what you've been able to do.
I appreciate that, man. I try to just live my life, and if that inspires, then it's positive feedback. It just makes me want to work a little harder.
No, for sure. I mean, definitely, because there's a lot of kids who have been in accidents like this and who would probably sit back and think like, I can't do jiu-jitsu, but you're living proof that they can.
Yeah, there you go. So if there's any MVTs out there, get your ass in the gym.
Get your asses in the gym. There's no excuses. Juan said so. What are your keys to victory on Saturday? Next Saturday?
Composure, experience. I know this guy's been doing it probably half as long as I, and I'm not taking him lightly, but I've been in my fair share of battles, so just being a little tougher than him. I don't know how good he is. I haven't watched any of his stuff, but I'm gonna go out there and execute my game plan. Do whatever I do best, and try and catch him slipping.
I can't wait to watch this. Yeah, before I let you go, though, man, I want to give you a quick opportunity to give a shout out to your teammates, sponsors, anyone that's really helped you along your journey.
Yeah, I want to. I mean, first of all, the big man Kamoy we were talking about got me this exposure, this fight. He linked me up. So big shout out to him, and congrats on last Saturday. Put on a dominant performance.
Fight shout out to title.
Yeah, right. Shout out to my team, 10 Planet El Paso, and then all the greater El Paso Jiu-Jitsu area, because we're all friendly here, so I'm getting good work from other local gyms, Zen, City Wolves. They're all like a big part of of what what it is that we're doing here.
Everyone growing together. Should be the key goal.
Yeah. So huge shout out to the community out here, just in general. Always my Austin brethren, where I kind of was the fires that kind of really forged me, I guess, forged my style to begin with. I got Dark Clan Fight Lab out there. I got Brazilian Fight Factory out there, and I gotta give my dues to them from back in the day. But yeah, as far as sponsors, I ain't got none yet, so let's go and look for some of those, and then
opportunities are open. God damn it, hit up Juan.
Yeah, exactly, and yeah. Other than that, I'm excited. Can't wait to be there in a few weeks.
So say I am in the El Paso, Texas area, and somebody just happens to hit my car. Where should I take it to get repaired?
You should bring it to my body shop, Gandara's Auto Body, baby. We'll take care of you from beginning to end. You don't have to worry about nothing. Just call the cops so you can do your police report, and then we'll tow it, in-house towing, free. Just anything that you might need to get you taken care of. And if our service is not up to spec, we'll guarantee that we'll either do it, get your money back, or you won't need any of that.
Yeah, it won't need it. It's quality guaranteed. There you guys have it, Juan Gandara. Super excited for this fight, man, or for this matchup, sorry. Combat sports coverage, submission only grappling, May 1st, Tomball, Texas. If you are not in Tomball to watch the fight, you can go ahead and order it online on pay-per-view at $4.99. It's going to be at combatsportscoverage.com. And again, that's $4.99. Go ahead and watch these great matches that Juan's going to go ahead and put on. Thanks again for joining us today, man, and I can't wait to talk to you after the match.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Likewise.